We begin this edition from France. After winning the first round of the presidential elections, incumbent French President Emmanuel Macron and far-right candidate Marine Le Pen have made an aggressive start to the next phase of their campaign. Ahead of the country's presidential runoff vote on April 24th, both the challengers have kicked off a two-week battle. Macron is vying to become the first president in 2 decades to win a second term. But he faces a tough challenge from Le Pen. Hunting for support, Macron headed to northern France. He made his first campaign stop in Duna, which is his opponent's territory. A majority of voters in the area voted for Le Pen. She won 42% of votes in Duna. The numbers reflect the difficulty Macron would face to court the residents in the second round. Several people questioned Macron's pension reforms. Some say they could not go on working until 65 years of age, which is Macron's proposal. Macron explained his proposal at length. He also said that Le Pen, on the other hand, did not propose anything to improve the pension system. Meanwhile, Marine Le Pen headed to central WION region, where she met with supporters, accusing Macron of doing too little to help voters with the rising cost of living. She repeated her promises to slash taxes on food and fuel. 53-year-old candidate also denied that she planned for France to leave the European Union. Instead, she said she wants to change the structure of the 27-member club.
Ça, c'est des choses qui peuvent avoir des répercussions et transformer en réalité une situation en situation hors contrôle. Oui. Alors moi, je suis très inquiète de ça parce que je vois tous les nuages s'amonceler et un président de la République qui fait mine de ne pas les voir. Prenez conscience qu'au-delà de l'augmentation du gaz, du fioul, de l'électricité et du carburant auquel les Français sont confrontés aujourd'hui, il y a un autre nuage noir qui arrive sur la tête des Français et qui va être l'inflation des prix de l'alimentation. Déjà, cette inflation s'est fait sentir depuis l'arrivée d'Emmanuel Macron à la tête de l'État. Les fruits et légumes, par exemple, ont augmenté de 25%.
Now, both candidates are scrambling to woo voters of their defeated first-round rivals. Le Pen's far-right rival, Éric Zemmour, has thrown his weight behind her, but far-left politician Jean-Luc Mélenchon told his supporters not to give a single vote to Le Pen. Neither has he backed Macron directly. But both Macron and Le Pen are looking to poach some of the 7.7 million-plus voters who supported Mélenchon, the only left-wing candidate to get anywhere near the second round with 21.95% of the vote on Sunday. The runoff vote is set to be much closer than their 2017 contest. Polls gauging second-round voting intentions mostly point to around 53% for Macron and 47% for Le Pen. One poll of the IFOP Fiducial group suggested Macron could have only a razor-thin win with 51% versus 49%. And for more on this story, our correspondent Ross Cullen is joining us live on this broadcast from Paris. Ross, good to see you. How will Macron or Le Pen manage to poach the 7.7 million plus voters from left-wing candidate Mélenchon? Will it be that difficult, and why has Jean-Luc not announced support for either of the two?
Well, Jean-Luc Mélenchon came third in the first round of results here on Sunday. A late surge, seeing him almost overtake Marine Le Pen to get into that second place and be able to move to the runoff. But Le Pen held him off, so he came third, but he was clearly in third, well ahead of the other candidates further down the ballot paper. And with his support, there come a big chunk of left-wing voters. Now, some of them are so far left that the populism from Jean-Luc Mélenchon, actually they can see themselves perhaps pledging their votes to Marine Le Pen, according to some polls, but their leader has said not a single vote from people who voted for me must be transferred to Marine Le Pen in the second round. That is what he has said. He said no vote for Marine Le Pen. He did not openly say you should vote for Emmanuel Macron. It will be up to his voters to make their own minds up. They are particularly disappointed. They feel that Emmanuel Macron has not stuck fully to the centrism he promised, bringing in both left-wing and right-wing policies, bringing in both centre-left and centre-right politicians. They feel that he is more or less governed as a president of the right. That is how the far left so far are not flocking, not fully convinced that they should be backing Emmanuel Macron. Macron does need them in order to get over the line to win that re-election in the second round. We have heard that Eric Zemmour and his extreme right defeated group, the party known as Reconquest, has pledged his support. He says his voters should vote for Marine Le Pen. The centre-right Republicans, centre-left Socialists, the Greens, even the Communists have all overtly said that we have been defeated, you should vote for Emmanuel Macron. So what he is waiting for now is hoping to be able to convince those people who voted for Jean-Luc Mélenchon that they should vote for Emmanuel Macron next time round, and the incumbent president is particularly trying to woo them by focusing on highlighting his green policies over the next 2 weeks.
Ross, critics say the rematch is an indictment of a French political establishment that has failed to renew itself in the last 5 years since Macron came to power. What do you make of that statement?
Yeah, has been 5 years since the 2017 presidential election, when the two traditional parties of French politics, the Socialists and the Republicans, neither of them managed to get into the second round. It was Emmanuel Macron versus Marine Le Pen. That was round one. This is quite literally round two, where they are having a rematch, the far-right leader and the incumbent centrist president. And it is going to be a historic election either way, because if Macron wins, as you mentioned in the intro, it'll be the first time in 2 decades that a French president has been re-elected, and he would go on to serve a second 5-year term to which he is eligible. If Marine Le Pen wins on the 24th of April, then she will make history as the first female president in French history.
Live from Paris, Ross Cullen, thank you very much for your insights today. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.